Hello. In this video, we're going to refactor community create dialog component here step by step. The goal is to make this component cleaner and easier to manage. Currently, this giant component handles all states, logics, UI, and side effects all in one place. As a result, this component has 276 lines of code, and the code has become super messy and harder to maintain. To solve this issue, we'll introduce custom hook here. Custom hook is reusable functions at the end of the day, which encapsulate logics and or allow to share the functionality across different components. If you look at the image here, we have hook 1, 2, and 3, and component 1 and 2. You probably haven't noticed hook 2 is being shared in component 1 and 2 hooks, which means the encapsulated logic inside of hook 2 is being shared in component 1 and 2. Let's go back here. Some people might be asking, what are the differences between other helper functions and these custom hooks? There are clear differences. One is using the prefix use before the name of the function name here. Okay, always. This tells React, hey, this is not a regular helper function. This is the custom hook. Then React will allow developer to use stateful logic inside of the function. What does it mean by that? We can use built-in hooks such as user state, user effect, user callback, and all the power that are provided from React, which makes your logic stateful. Okay, and custom hook allow the component to focus on UI presentation instead of handling the logic, because we'll be taking all the logic above here encapsulated into our custom hooks. Okay, so what it means at the end of the day, you will see hooks and this JSX section. On top of that, we have a couple more things to consider. One is whenever your component gets re-rendered, your hook gets rerun. What it means, all the logics inside will be rerun whenever your component gets re-rendered. What it means, you probably needed to make some optimization using user memo, user callback, and etc. And the state inside of the custom hook will not be shared in different components. As an example, hook 2 has state called is loading. When your component 1 has is loading true, doesn't mean that component 2 has is loading true. It can be false, or it can be true, or it can be something else. Okay? And it must be pure function. What does it mean by that? When the input of the function is always the same whenever your function gets invoked, your output must be always the same. That's called the pure function. If you have messed up random inside, which makes your output unpredictable, then the function is not pure. Okay? If your custom hook is not pure, you will have unpredictable result on your UI. Okay? Yeah, so in short, why do we want to use custom hooks? We want to have reusability, readability, and maintainability, which are exactly what we need in this component. Okay, that's why I chose to use custom hooks where we are refactoring. Awesome. Then now, let's try to understand what's happening inside of this dialog. Okay, in here we have dialog that has a stage 1 that allow user to enter the name and description of the community. With the footer that has a next and cancel button here, then allow user to navigate to different stages. Okay, when you hit next, then you're gonna see stage 2. In the stage 2, we can add image to upload the file, and once we select it, we can crop the image here. And then once we crop it by clicking the save button, then you're gonna see the cropped image gets rendered on the preview card right here. Avatar will do the exactly the same, but with the different aspect ratio to crop, right? And then hit save, then you're gonna see your cropped image rendered on preview card. Awesome. These are the features that are inside of the community create dialog component. Now let's get started. To make my life a little bit easier, I'm going to categorize these logics here. This one is for moving to stages, right? I'm gonna have moving to stages comments here. And these below, I'm going to categorize it to cropper. And this one is font. And the one that below here, I want to separate into two different categories. One is for name and description, that is for stage 1. Then remove the rest. And here is for stage 2 for banner and avatar. Yeah, looking good. And the name and description need to be for stage 1. And each preview visible is either stage 1 or stage 2, right? I'm going to separate it to here. Name it to const is stage 1. And then I'm gonna copy it and change it to stage 2. Okay, like this. And then move this one to stage 2. Looking good. Then where it's being used, instead of either preview visible, I'm gonna just have either stage 1 or 2, then we render preview card. Okay, so here is a stage 1 or is a stage 2. Looking good. This one makes sense to me, yeah, personally. Okay, then we're gonna go back up where we were. Then let's continue. Either cropping is for cropper, right? So I'm gonna cut this and then move it up to cropper here. Yeah, looking good. And let's quickly take a look. Oh, this one also, sorry, my bad. The cropper, right? And handle back and handle next belong to the moving to stages. So I'm gonna do that here. And handle file and error, delete, reset field, and this much is for stage 2. I'm gonna leave it, okay? Yeah, but on submit is for form, so I'm gonna move it up to form here. Looking good. Stage 1 to handle file, we have done it. On image load is for cropper, and on crop change is cropper. Okay, the rest is for cropper, so I'm gonna move it to cropper section. Okay, so looking good. Then let's move the smaller one to the top. Okay, the form and stage 1, let's bring it up to up here somewhere, maybe moving to stages and then that. Yeah, let's leave it this way. So we have a moving to stage and then form and stage 1 and cropper and stage 2. Cropper belong to stage 2, so we're gonna nest the hook a little bit later. Yeah, the rest is looking pretty good. Then let's start it from the top here. Okay, right here. I'm going to create a hook inside of the root directory here. I'm gonna create use stage.ts. Create the hook, name it to use stage. This guy is not a component, so delete the JSX section and import this guy right here. Looking good. This guy doesn't do anything yet, but that's fine. I'm gonna split the screen so that it'll be a little bit more readable. I'm going to cut everything and then paste inside here. Of course, we are having a lot of errors now because we have missing variables and functions, right? So I'm gonna export everything. Stage, handle back, handle next, right? Then I'm gonna just copy these guys and then get it over here. Yeah, looking good. Many errors are gone already. But when you see here, it says set stage is missing. We can export it directly, but I don't want to. I want to encapsulate this specific hook, okay? So instead, I'm going to have move to function that does set stage. We're going to receive the stage right here. Here, one thing we need to consider is we don't want to have a type for specific to community, because this can be used in other features too, right? So instead, I'm going to accept the T here, okay? We're making it generic type, right? And then stage 2, this one also needed to be gone. I'm gonna have initial state, okay? This one also T. To have that happen, I'm gonna have options type that include initial state that also accepts T. We need to receive the T here, and when we use the options type, we need to pass the T right here. Then we can accept the initial state and then use it over here. Looking good. I wonder if I can make it single line. Yeah, awesome. Then when we are accepting stage here, it's going to be T as well. Looking good. Then we can export to this guy, right? And then use it where we have errors, right? Let's go up. Here, I'm going to get it and then replace set stage to move to. This one, don't worry, it'll be fine. Let's find all the errors here. Yeah, awesome. Then we have a missing stuff here, right? I'm going to pass the initial stage, that is community create stage 1. Awesome. So then this one is good. When you hover over it, it says the stage is always community stage, right? So what it means is it's looking pretty good. But if you want to be explicit, then you can pass it right here as a generic type. Okay? Looking good, looking good. Then everything is looking good. So then this error is gone, but here we still have some error. The reason why it's saying is it should not return the number, because at the end of the day, what we want to set is the T, right? So we needed to cast it as a T. And but here this guy is complaining because our T needed to be either any number or big int in order to decrement or increment. So to make that happen, T must be either number or big int or and so on and so forth, just by using the extents. Okay, yeah, then all the error is gone. Then this will do the job. If you want, you can quickly test it. Okay, so go back and next, back and next. Looking good. And then when we add image, should not have a problem. When we cancel or save, it should go back to stage 2. Okay, so this one is looking good. So I'm gonna make a quick commit here. Okay, so here, git add, git commit, add use stage hook. Okay, looking good. Then use stage hook is done. And let's work on the form. The form is not belong to anywhere based on what I see. This guy needed to be belong to community specific. The generic form is already here, that is from the React hook form already, right? So we needed to create the hook specific to the community. So instead, this time, let me just expand here a little bit. Inside of the communities folder, I'm gonna create a folder called the hooks. And in here, I'll be creating hook called use community create form. I'm gonna move it to the right side here and then shut down, create a hook called the use community create form, and then remove the JSX section and then import right here. Okay. Then we're gonna cut everything relating to the form and then paste inside. Looking good. Then we'll be exporting these form and on submit. Let's do that here too. Air phone and on submit. Awesome. It gets shorter and shorter, right? Let's move it to the top here. Yeah, looking good. Then now let's work on the stage one. This is stage one also belong to the community specific, right? It's not going to be used anywhere else. So I'm gonna create it inside of here, okay? So here, use community, create stage one.ts. Okay, shut down the sidebar, create the hook, use community, create stage one. Delete the JSX, and then I'll be cutting all the thing related to stage one and then put it inside here. Okay, so looking good. But the problem here is we are not having the form. So I'm gonna accept it here, type options, form that is the same as this guy, right? Use return form, and then pass the generic type that is jet.infer. If you're not sure what I'm doing here, you can just simply go inside and then copy it, okay? So here, use a create form right here, this guy, okay? We need to get this one and then paste it here. Yeah, looking good. I can do this community specific one because this hook is belong to communities, okay? Otherwise, I would have not done this, okay? So looking good. And then get the form. And to know if it's a stage one or two, then we need to have a stage two, right? Stage that is community create stage. And then here, let's accept a stage. Okay, looking good. Then let's export the things that is necessary, okay? One is name and description. N is a stage one and invalid thing, right? I can just say, just a one variable is stage one invalid. Let's do that. Then this logic will be is stage one and either is name invalid or is description invalid. Then we think that this guy is invalid. Okay. Oh, sorry. I think I need to have a double N. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, this one is looking good. If you want to look a little bit bigger, yeah, here it is. Okay. Yeah, I think this one is good. So then I'm going to get everything here. Use community, create stage one. Screen is too small. I'm going to make it smaller now. And then I'm going to copy all these and then paste right here. Then we need to pass the necessary options, that is for and stage. Yeah, so looking good. We have one error down here. I'm gonna copy this guy because I'm sure this is the reason. So instead of doing this, I'm gonna replace with the is stage one invalid. Okay, looking good. Then stage one is done. So I'm gonna make a git commit, git add, git commit, add hook for stage one. Yeah, looking good. Then let's just shut down this one and this one and this one. Okay, so looking good. I'm trying to keep the split screen here, okay? Yeah, so then let's continue. Now, something big. Now we need to work on the cropper specific, right? This cropper needed to be general cropper, in my opinion, because this cropper can be used in other places too, right? So what I would do is I'm going to create a hook inside of the root directory here, okay? Sorry. Yeah, this one. Use cropper.ts. And then move it to the right side, shut down things that we don't need. RFC, use cropper. Delete as usual. And then let's import right here. Okay, so there are quite a bit of things we need to consider here. Currently, we are managing two different images together. One is banner and avatar, right? But this cropper needed to handle just one image. The reason why I'm saying that is there are features that handles only single image, not like two images here, right? So there are quite a bit of refactoring needed to be done. Okay. Yeah. So just letting you know. Okay. So I'm gonna just to cut everything relating to the croppers this much and then paste right here. Hit save and then let's just try to work on it. Okay. So let's go. Let me just make it a little bit smaller on this side. So inside of here, we have a percentage crop, but this crop, not necessarily always a percentage crop. If you're not sure what this is, you can go to previous videos and check it out. React image crop package provides percentage crop and pixel crop. Okay. So only difference is unit. The unit percent is for percentage crop, pixel is for pixel crop. Okay. So in this case, this guy can be, using either percentage crop or pixel crop, right? So we're going to accept the generic type that is either percentage crop or pixel crop. Okay. And then it can be undefined. Okay. So this one is looking good. Then let's change the name to crop and then set crop. And then we're going to change line by line. Okay. So here image is community specific, but this guy should not be, right? I'm going to go inside and then check where it's being used. Only one place inside of the user cropper. So instead of having this guy here, I'm going to cut this guy and then create one type in the root directory here, okay? So here, it's a cropper specific type here, like that. And then community specific type, let's delete it. And this community image needed to be, original image to be cut, okay? And then save. Let's shut down things that we don't need. And then I'm gonna import right here, right? Then this guy is holding the file and this can be either original image or no, okay? Let's make it a little bit more explicit. Original image, okay? Awesome. And this preview images should not be handling two different images. Let's find this guy type. I don't know where this is. Inside of the create dialog here. So this guy having banner or avatar. And this guy is being used only one place based on what I see. I'm gonna delete this guy. I don't need it. Okay. So instead of handling two images, I'm gonna handle one. So I'm gonna have a string or undefined. Okay, so looking good. Then what it means is this guy should not be object. And I want to change the name to cropped image. A little bit more explicit. Set cropped image. Okay, so looking good. And is cropping this guy should not have a stage related logic inside. So I'm gonna delete this guy. Okay. And when is cropping, what it means, our original image is a true thing. Okay. Yeah, looking good. Because when we don't have original image to cut, then it's null, right? Yeah, looking good. Reset cropping, I'm gonna rename it to reset only because we know that it's going to be reset cropping since we are inside of the user cropper hook, right? Yeah, looking good. Then I'm not gonna receive this event, okay? Because we should not handle all these logics inside here. So what I would do is instead of handling it inside, I'm gonna create the options that include on reset, which accepts the function. Then we're gonna receive the options here that includes on reset. And then we'll be calling this function inside of the reset function. This guy will be called, let's make it optional because some situation we don't want to use this on reset function, right? And then I'm going to say if on reset existing, then call it. Okay, that's what it means. Here, only thing that we want to do is set image here. The rest, I don't want to do it inside of here because nothing related to cropper itself, right? So here, let's change the name to set original image, okay? And the set original image, okay, looking good. Then where we are calling this, we can pass the on reset function and then do necessary, which are divs, okay? Yeah, but we don't have these and then not event. So I'm gonna just make a comment and then saying to do handle this logic, okay? It is just a not to forget what I need to do, okay? So then I can delete this guy here, looking good. And on image load, I can rename it to onload as well. So yeah, looking good. And this guy is coming from the actual image element that we'll be using, okay? We're gonna pass this function to, the image element. Let's change the function to arrow function for the consistency. And what it does is accepting the image element and then find the width and height and then find the aspect center crop, okay? So that's what it means. But in order to do that, we need to have actual aspect ratio, right? Either banner or avatar, right? So I'm gonna just accept this guy from outside because this is community specific. I'll be accepting aspect from options here, aspect that is number, okay? And then pass right here. But this guy, oh, sorry, I forgot to receive it here. Aspect. When this guy is existing, that is fine. But sometimes we don't want to pass the aspect, right? This is the reusable one. So we need to leave it a little bit more open than normal, right? So when we're download here, so we are going to do all these when we are having the aspect truth, okay? So if we don't have it, then there is no point of doing all the rest here, okay? Since we changed the name to set crop, we're gonna change the name to set crop, and this guy will be need to be T, right? We don't know what this one is, right? For now, I'm gonna hard code it here as a T, like that. Okay, yeah, looking good. Then this community specific, we can delete that. Okay, much simpler and more straightforward. On crop change, I'm gonna change the name to on change. Okay, when on change is happening in crop size, I'm gonna do if check. The reason why I'm saying that is this guy can be either pixel crop or percent crop, right? So instead, I'm gonna do, let's do that. I'm gonna do if our original crop has a unit that is pixel or percent, then we're gonna have a set crop, just setting the percent crop. Let's make it percent. Let's make it consistent, okay? Percent crop. All other situation, either undefined or pixel, then I'm going to set the pixel crop here. Okay, so this one is just a default behavior of this hook. Okay, pixel crop. Yeah, looking good. And this one also needed to be as T. Okay, as T. Then this one, let's leave it this way. And then image wraps, I'm gonna move it to the top. Okay. Okay, so looking good. Most of things are done based on what I say, but we forgot to pass one aspect, right? So before we forget, I'm gonna pass it here. aspect that is this, right? But this guy should not be dynamic because this guy handles one cropper at a time, right? Not multiple. So this time I'm gonna make it banner specific. Okay, so looking good. And then whatever the cropper we are receiving will be banner cropper. Okay, so this one is beautiful now. Okay, so then let's try to export and import here. Whatever the missing, we need to get it, right? And this part will be very confusing, so bear with me, okay? So here we are setting the image, right? And again, this one, set original image. I don't want to do it inside here. I would rather create one function called add original image, like that. And then we'll set original image like that. Yeah, this guy needed to be based on this guy, right? So what it means, we need to receive the file that is image. Okay, yeah. Then with that file, I'm gonna create file over here. Then I'm gonna export this guy right here. Yeah, just not to miss, I'm doing one by one, okay? So then when the type is banner, then we need to add banner original image, right? So I'm gonna do this way. If, oh, we already have an if condition here. So I'm gonna wrap it. And then when it's banner, I'm gonna do banner cropper dot add the original image and then pass the file. Here, instead of object, we are just passing the file here. Okay, looking good. Later, when we have avatar cropper, we can do exactly the same. Okay. Yeah, this one is good. Let's continue. Let's remove the comments because this guy bothers me a little bit. Okay. And then here, when we are resetting the field, we are removing the cropped image, right? So I'm gonna do exactly the same here. I'm gonna have a function remove cropped image. This guy set cropped image to be null. Oh, this guy will be undefined, right? Undefined. Yeah, let's make it null for now. Yeah, I think undefined seems like unhandled error. So I would do this way for now. Okay, unless it's necessary, let's leave with the null. And then I'm gonna let it out and then replace it here and where the cropper right here, right? So what it means, we can do this. When reset, based on the type, we're gonna do this, right? So if the type is equal to banner, then we're gonna remove the cropped image of the banner, right? So banner cropper dot that. Oh, where's the banner cropper? Banner cropper. Yeah, that. Then we don't need all these logics. I'm gonna just call it. Okay, so looking good. Let's add a to do before I forget, okay? Sorry, I'm gonna add a to do here and there. This guy needed to have to do with its avatar original image. Yeah, looking good. And inside here, if type is equal to avatar, then I'm gonna have to do remove banner corrupt image. Okay, so that we're not gonna forget it. Okay, so looking good. And where else? So here we need to show cropped image, right? Preview images, what it means, these are cropped image. So I'm gonna have cropped image and then pass it right here. For the banner, we already have it, right? So banner cropper dot cropped image, right? This guy is undefined, right? That's why null is not assignable. Okay, let's check quickly. The banner is either string or undefined. banner is either string or static import, that's fine. For the avatar, we are rendering the default community avatar. This guy only accepts undefined, the string, blob, undefined. That's why, right? Then this guy needs to be undefined based on what I say. So let's quickly change it. I'm gonna just have undefined. Yeah, looking good. Then let's remove the null here. Need to be undefined. Yeah, this one is good. Then the error is gone, right? This one, I'm gonna just have an empty string for now. You know what? Let's leave the error. That's better so that we know we need to do it, right? So when is a cropping, we are rendering the cropper, right? So I'm gonna export this. When is a cropping needed to be exported from the cropper, right? But we need to know if we are cropping the banner or we're cropping the avatar, right? We don't know. So this guy actually technically not helping much, to be honest. So I'm gonna delete that. Sorry. I'm gonna change the logic a little bit. You know what? Let's create one here. So I'm gonna copy paste, and then this guy will be avatar specific. Change to avatar. Okay. And then let's just quickly update the to do part. Okay. So I'm gonna copy and then change it to avatar cropper. Then we can remove this guy. And we have one more to do, right? Then this one, avatar cropper dot remove crop the image. Okay. Yeah, this one is okay. Then let's do here too. Preview image. We can get it. Avatar cropper dot crop the image. Okay. Then this one is good. Easy cropping needed to be a little bit changed in my opinion. As an example, inside of the cropper, if we have original image, what it means we're cropping. So then I'm gonna create the logic like this. Easy cropping means if we have a stage that is community, create stage, not banner stage, or stage is community, create stage dot avatar stage, and we need to have at least one active cropper, right? So I'm gonna have const active cropper. I'm gonna just map it with the array here. We're gonna have banner cropper and avatar cropper, and then we're gonna find the cropper that is having the cropper dot original image existing. Currently we are not letting it out, right? So in this case, I'm gonna have original image. Yeah, just letting it out. When we have cropper with the original image, then what it means, we are having active cropper that needed to be cropped. Okay, let's make it separate variables. I'm gonna say croppers. Yeah, then croppers define that end up being getting the active crop. Then cropping means either one of the stage in active cropper is a truthy. Okay. Then when is a cropping, we need to get all these from the active cropper, not inactive cropper, right? What it means, we're gonna find the cropper that is active. The active cropper will be using one of the user cropper, right? To make our job a little bit easier, I might just get all the props from here. And then this props will be passed from inside here. Then we're gonna get the props from the cropper here, right? Copy all these and then comment it out, okay? Yeah, I know it's a lot of stuff going on, but but don't worry, we're gonna get there. I'm gonna delete this. I'm gonna say active cropper dot props. To do that, we need to satisfy the component props from React that matches with the type of croppers here. This cropper is this cropper. Okay. Yeah, looking good. It's complaining because we're not passing the necessary, right? So what I would do is just to making line up and then get them all and then copy inside here. And then give this. Maybe alternatively, you can just change name to ref. Then you can use the shorter form, right? Comma. Crop is crop, so comma. On change, we already have that, right? Comma. Aspect ratio, we're getting it from at the top, right? So we're gonna pass aspect ratio. And source is image source, right? But if you don't want to do that, there are different ways of handling it. So instead of doing this, why don't we just set the image URL inside of the original image? Granted, we are having the file inside only, right? So instead of doing that, I'm gonna have URL that is a string, okay? Then what it means, this guy is now complaining, and just to rather have URL that is URL.createObject URL and then pass the file. Then we don't need to have this, right? So I'm gonna delete that. Rather, I'm gonna have original image.url. Yeah, so I think this way is better. But this guy can be undefined, right? Which is no good. So I'm gonna just have, the OR operator to pass empty string. Let me take a look what it's saying. Oh, sorry, comma missing. Okay, so looking good. All the text will be, what was it? The community names and blah, 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 right? This one, I'm going to make it a little bit more generic because this is the cropper specific, right? So I'm going to say image for cropping. Okay, that's it. And width and height, I'm going to hard code for now, but we can accept as options if you like. Okay. Onload function will be up here too. So let's do that. Unload. Awesome. Looking good. Then we don't need this guy, right? We don't have any error here. So what it means, everything is good. Sorry, I think we still have error. Reset. Let's delete things that are not necessary. Yeah, looking good. Reset is not being used. That's why. Okay. So then we can pass the prompts directly here, right? Yeah, looking good, looking good. Then what else? Here we have image ref and everything. Oh, interesting. This guy is cropping the image, right? We are cropping the image inside. So then instead of leaving it here, I'm gonna cut everything, okay? I'm gonna cut all of them and then have crop image function. Let's delete this guy. And inside of here, I'm gonna create const crop image and then paste all the thing that we have in it right here. Then we're gonna export crop image right here. And the missing one, which is reset up there. And then we're gonna do it here, okay? Active cropper dot crop image. But this active cropper can be undefined based on what I say. But onSave does not accept undefined, right? Save button is received only saveable, right? Then in this case, I'm gonna make it optional. I think it'll be a little bit easier. Yeah, just to mark it as optional. Then this guy is good. But onClose needed to be handled, right? onClose. This is the guy that we were doing, right? In this case, I'm gonna handle close. Okay, let's go up there. Let's form 2, we're form 2. Yeah, stage 2. Let's have a handle close here. Const handle close. This guy will be receiving the event, that is mouse event from React for HTML button element. Yeah, we had a to do up here. I think we can do this, I think, right? So I'm gonna cut this guy. Then what it means, we don't need on reset function. I'm gonna delete. Then I'm gonna do inside here. Okay. If it's a cropping, then we're gonna do this. And we need to call that, right? Active cropper. We have a reset. Yeah, this one needs to be done, right? So I'm gonna do active cropper dot reset. Yeah, I think this one makes a little bit more sense, to be honest. Yeah. Then on reset is not necessary, but no harm to have it just for the future, right? This is at more than what we need, but that's fine. Okay. Yeah, looking good. Then inside of the cropper, we need to handle quite a bit of different things, right? Let's delete the comments. We don't need it. So here, this guy gotta be Refactor current, which is image element. And instead of percent crop, we need to name it to crop because we changed the name, right? Then this guy can be T. And then this context is created. Then we're gonna do necessary things, right? And then inside of here, we're converting it to pixel crop, right? This is no good because this guy can be either percent crop or pixel crop, right? What if it's a pixel crop that does not match you with the natural width and height? That becomes a little bit problematic. Okay, so in that case, I needed to have logic to handle when this guy is a pixel, okay? So I'm gonna say const percent crop. If the crop dot unit is percent, we're just gonna get the crop. Otherwise, we're gonna convert to crop. The reason why I'm doing that is we needed to make this crop size, width and height to be matching based on the natural width and height. That is why we are doing it, okay? So to make the scale the same thing, we're doing it, okay? So here, natural width and natural height. Yeah, so this is necessary for scaling purpose, okay? So then we can pass this guy. Yeah, looking good. Then instead of having this like that, maybe I can create a one helper function. How about that? So I'm gonna just open up here. We already have the lib folder that includes cropper here. Here, I'm gonna create one function called const get pixel crop. This guy will be doing all the thing we just wrote here, okay? I'm gonna do that and then paste inside here. Instead of doing that, I'm gonna return right away. So then we have quite a bit of missing information. One is crop, that is just a crop. Either it can be percent or pixel, okay? Then I'm gonna accept the width, which is container width and height, number, height, number. Yeah, let's make it simplified. I don't want it to have like big chunk here. Width, height. Then I'm gonna replace width and height right here. Awesome. We need to have a percent crop, okay? Yeah, looking good. Then we're gonna just call get pixel crop and then doing the exactly the same. Then we can remove this guy. So this function is handling in both the scenarios. When crop is percentage crop or pixel crop, and then convert it to pixel crop based on the natural width and height. Okay, yeah, looking good, looking good. Then here we have quite a bit of logics. Maybe it's good to separate some logics here based on what I see. Okay, so in the case, what I would do is inside of the lib folder in the root directory, I'm gonna have canvas.ts. And then we'll be creating helper right here. Let me just do like this. Okay. Corporate is done, so I'm gonna shut it down. Shut it down. So inside here, I'll be creating helper that is creating the cropped image. Okay. So const, let's export to first. Draw cropped image using the canvas, right? We are inside of the canvas.tx. I'm gonna get all the canvas related. Maybe I can move this guy down here. So here, I'm gonna cut these guys and the paste to here. And then the canvas related, I'm gonna cut and then paste to here. Here, what we want to accept will be the image element, because when we draw the image with the context, we need to pass the image element, right? That is HTML image element. And we need to accept all the values that include these, right? We need to have pixel crop. Okay, we are converting to pixel crop, right? Then we're gonna get the pixel crop right here. Awesome. Instead of doing this, I'm gonna destructure this object to get the x, y, width, and height. Then we can pass width and height directly here, right? Width and height. Yeah, like that. X, Y, width, and height. Copy, paste. I wonder if we can make it inline. I'm not sure if I can do that. Let's figure that out. I have a little bit of issue here. Here we go. So then we have draw crop the image helper function using canvas here, right? Then I can just do that. Then what it means, we need a canvas element to change it to block, right? So then I can do this. Export const convert to block. Let's do that. This guy will be accepting the canvas element. Okay. HTML canvas element. Then in here, I can return the block, right? But this guy is happening asynchronously, right? Inside of the callback. So what it means, we need to have a promise that is block. Yeah, looking good, looking good. This guy, I can return HTML canvas element. Return canvas element. Okay. Then with this, we can receive the canvas element from this and then do the rest, right? So I'm gonna copy this much here and this. Yeah, I think this is good. But this guy is, as I said, happening inside of the callback, which is asynchronous. So here, instead, I'm gonna return new promise. The promise will accept resolve and reject function. When the block does not exist, instead, I'm gonna reject. But if it does, I'm going to resolve the block. Yeah, this one is looking good. Then we can just do it like this. I'm gonna delete these. Okay. And instead, I'm going to get the block await convert to block, pass the canvas element, right? Then what it means, we can have a block to convert to URL and file. So let's make it async here. Yeah, looking good. And here we need to pass the necessary information. Sorry, we need to pass image element and the pixel crop, right? I'm just gonna say pixel crop. Yeah, and then pass it right here. Yeah, looking good. Then we can have one function do those two together. How about that? So I'm gonna say export the const get cropped image block. How about that? And then here we do both together. I'm gonna have get the canvas element, okay? Using this, what it means, we need those two, right? I'm gonna accept it. This gotta be pixel crop. Then once we get it, then we're gonna convert to block right here, right? And then just to return it. This guy also return the same thing, that is promise block. Yeah, then looking good. Then instead of doing two things at a time, we can just do that, right? And then get the block right away. This guy will be await and delete that. Yeah, shorter and much more, testable and maintainable. Okay. Yeah, looking good, looking good. Then let's fix the remaining here. We don't have image object anymore. It's original image, right? Right here. We don't have this image. Well, where that image is coming from? We don't have the image. This is wrong import, right? Let's delete that. We need to have original image, right? Original image.file, original image.file, and original image.file. And we don't need this. Yeah, we need to handle it here. Just bear with me. Let's do one by one. I don't like to have like this much long keywords. I'm gonna say URL. We're just converting to crop to URL, right? And then this one will be file. Here, we can destructure to get the file name and file type here, right? So const original image, the file. We're gonna get the name, that is file name, type, renaming it to file type. Then here, I'm gonna change it to file type, and here to be file name. A little bit shorter and more straightforward, and I'm gonna make it single line. Yeah, looking good. Then with these, we need to set form, right? This guy should be done inside here, right? This guy can be done, but this one no longer existing, right? Set cropped image, that is URL. That's it. And instead of reset cropping, we have reset, right? Oh, here we have one more reset. We need to redirect the user to here, right? We need this logic. Sorry, my bad. I'm gonna create on reset here. When everything is done, we need to redirect the user. So on reset, I'm going to, you know what? Let's create new one. Instead of calling reset here, this one also sets original image to null, right? I'm gonna say on crop complete. How about that? On crop complete. And then pass the file. How about that? I think that makes a little bit more sense. or file and URL. Yeah, but I'm not sure if it's necessary. But since this is reusable hook, maybe we just pass necessary information potentially, okay? So this one, I'm going to accept as a prompt and then return void, just in case we're gonna send the cropped file and URL, okay? That's it. Then this guy also can be optional. How about that? Accept it, and then we're gonna call it if it exists. Okay. Then we can do this outside, right? We're gonna set the form. So let's do it here. Sorry. On the cropper, on crop complete, we need to do this, right? So type will be the banner, and file will be received from file here, right? File and then URL. But I'm not sure if we need a URL though. Yeah. And then we need to redirect user to stage 2, right? What was the move to community create stage dot 2. We need to have exactly the same logic for the avatar cropper. Okay? Yeah, looking good. Then no errors anywhere, and then everything is good. Then it's much lighter in my opinion. Yeah, let's make it a little bit shorter code. I'm gonna cut it. Yeah, this way is good. Get cropped image block with the image element with the pixel crop. Okay, so this one is still okay. Awesome. Yeah, much shorter now, right? Crop image. Yeah, we're cropping, right? Yeah, awesome. On crop complete, we are setting the form and set the cropped image URL and redirect to stage 2. Okay, so I think this guy hopefully will do the job. If not, yeah, I need to touch again. So let's quickly test it here, okay? So on the stage 2, cropper needs to be working beautiful. Change. Yeah, it's working. Let me just refresh and then do it again, okay? Just to make sure. Let's go home and then open here and then add the image. Yeah, everything is looking beautiful based on what I see. Yeah, I think everything is good so far. Yeah, but one thing I want to check is this. Just in case, I'm gonna add console log to see if it add any, thing that is not expected, just to make sure, okay? Yeah, this much is okay. Cropping is working good. Yeah, so far so good. So far so good. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, then cropper is done, right? So I am happy with this. Awesome. Then I'm going to make a quick commit, okay? So this one was quite long. Git add, git commit, add, use cropper. Okay, so then let's continue. This guy is done. And then now let's put everything into stage 2. How about that? So this time we need to have hook for stage 2. So I'm going to copy the stage 1 hook and change the name to 2. On the hook, also the same thing. Yeah, looking good. And then delete all the thing related to stage 1. Okay? Yeah, looking good. Then let's split the screen the same as the other one. Shut down the sidebar. And then close unnecessary ones. And then now I'm gonna cut everything relating to stage 2. Okay? Stage 2 will include the cropper. So I'm gonna cut everything and then move to inside here. Yeah, this one is okay. So I'm gonna do React and then save, also save. Yeah, then let's do a little bit more, okay? So currently move to does not exist inside of the stage 2, like what we did with the stage, the cropper. We're gonna bring this one up, okay? So here we can get it. Yeah, this guy is needed for stage 1 and 2 both, right? Yeah, stage is necessary for stage 1 and 2. In this case, what we can do is community create stage 2, and then we can do the same thing, right? On crop complete, we can move to that, right? So I'm gonna have option that takes on crop complete. Yeah, I can be a little bit more free because this one is for feature specific, right? I can be a little bit more open. So here I'm gonna do void, and then I'm not gonna make it optional because this is feature specific, right? And then I'm gonna call it here, or maybe yeah, let's do it here. You know what, maybe I'm gonna just pass exactly the same thing here. Okay, so here I'm gonna paste here and then get it, and then just to pass straight it. Oh no, that's not gonna work. Okay, let's do, yeah, maybe I'm gonna do it here. I'm gonna call it, okay? So on crop complete, and then call it. Then when we call it, we don't wanna receive anything, right? And move this guy to the where we are using the stage 2 hook here, okay? So on crop complete, we're gonna move to stage 2. Yeah, let's do it like that. Why it's complaining? Okay, so needed to give the question mark and then that. If it exists, we are gonna call it. And here we're missing some information, right? Let's pass the form and stage. Yeah, all the error is gone. And then here I'm gonna also call the same thing. Yeah, looking good. And then we're gonna let the banner and avatar outside, right? Because we need to pass them, right? Each stage 2 definitely needed to go out, right? Const each stage 2 need to go out. We have each stage 2 somewhere here. Let's return each stage 2. Yeah, I don't know where that is. Oh, right here, right? And where? And then we need to pass the avatar cropped image and the banner cropped image, right? Yeah, maybe I'm gonna rename it. Let's do this. On the preview, I'm gonna say cropped avatar, which is avatar cropper, don't crop the image, and crop banner, that is banner cropper dot crop image. Okay, so then I can just rename it to cropped avatar and banner, right? Like that. And then we're gonna receive from stage 2. You see, it's getting so much leaner now, right? Very lean, looking good. And we need to receive the easy cropping too, right? I'm gonna receive easy cropping and easy crop. Yeah, looking good. Yeah, let's remove everything. We need to have an active cropper, right? So active cropper from stage 2 here. active cropper. Let's receive active cropper. Yeah, looking good. And oh, this guy potentially undefined, right? Is a cropper, based on what I see, is a cropping include active cropper? That is because we are in different scope. This guy does not understand, right? Then we can do this. When active cropper exists, then do that, right? I can do this. Yeah, that is good. And we need to accept the banner and avatar. So here, banner and avatar. Those are just the files, okay? File. And we need to pass handle file delete and all that, right? Handle file and handle file delete and handle file error and what else? And handle close, right? Handle close. Okay, so then let's accept all these from here. Yeah, looking good, looking good. But the color is, oh, now it's changing. Yeah, and then let's remove all the errors here. Move to is here, right? When we are handling the file, we're doing this. Should we pass the move to inside here? That we don't need it to do all these, right? Oh, I wonder if I needed to leave this function in this scope or in the stage 2 hook. You know what? Let's pass it. Yeah, so I think that'll be a little bit easier. Then I'm gonna move it back on crop complete here. I'm just gonna leave it here like that. Okay. And remove this guy. Let's do that here. So move to, I'm not super happy, but let's do it. Okay. So stage 2, move to is the stage that is community create stage and returns void. Okay. And then accept it here. I think this way it's yeah, let's leave it this way. Yeah, stage 2 is good. Good, good, good. Yeah, so but still it's very lean, I will say. So move to, yeah, awesome. Then let's organize here quickly. We have a banner cropper and active cropper, and banner and avatar that are filed inside of the form. And then each stage 2 handlers are here, right? All handlers are here. I can move these variables at the top, okay? Let's move it up somewhere here. And then handlers. Okay, so I think we have organized here. Close, and everything is looking good. Awesome. Yeah, but still much shorter and much more manageable. Then let's try to organize here too. Is a stage 2 cropping, active cropper. Yeah, this way is good. Then I can just copy this guy. Delete maybe goes down. Yeah. Okay. Much more organized. And then replace it here too. These guys can be just this, right? Yeah. This way is much more cleaner. And then let's delete the unnecessary comments since we already finished organizing. Okay. Okay. Yeah, in this file, it's so much shorter and leaner. Isn't it great? And this one is good. And cropper is also okay based on what I see. Aspect ratio, banner. This guy needs to be avatar, right? Not the banner. Yeah, just the one last double check, okay? So croppers is good. Fine. Is cropping good? Handle file, we do that. Handle error, we're gonna set error in the, if it's a banner, then we remove that. Yeah, I think looking good, looking good. Yeah, so let me just quickly test on the UI too here. So when we open up first time, we can move to the next, right? But when we have Bartinho, yeah, it's good. But if we have less than 3, then we're gonna have error, right? Bartinho, which is good. And then testing, then it allow me to move to the next stage, right? Okay, so then let's go. Here we can add the file here and then crop it necessary spots. Oh, here we found the error. This guy is rendered. We redirected it to stage 2, but cropper is rendered. What it means, we didn't set image to null. Okay, I think I know where the problem is. So in the stage 2, on complete, we are setting avatar file and then move to the stage 2. But we didn't reset the image, right? So instead of the cropper here, when after completing the image, we need to set original image to null. Yeah, let's do that. Then let me try again. So when I crop it, yeah, looking good. And then when I add avatar, looking good. And then when I delete avatar, it's good. When I delete banner, it's good. And then I can go and next. And then let's drop on a file here, something that is invalid PDF file. It says error. And then I'm gonna drop it to avatar. It shows error. And then I'm gonna drop image. It's looking good. And then when I have 2 images together, it says too many files. Avatar should work exactly the same thing. Okay, awesome. Awesome. I think everything is working beautiful. And one last check is adding one console log and then not too much rendering. Okay. So in the community create dialog, I'm gonna have log here in the same rendering. Let's see how many times it's rendering. Okay. I'm gonna delete everything. Let's go back. So when I open up, yeah, while typing it is expected. And I'm gonna delete here. When I add image, 2 times rendering. When I move, it is expected. And then when I save it, 1 rendering. And again, yeah, this much rendering is totally acceptable. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this one up after committing. Okay, so it was quite a long video and confusing. Thank you for being patient. Okay, so git add, git commit, add, put for stage 2. Okay, yeah, nice. 113. So it's a more than 50% deduction, which is super nice. If you remove comments, it'll be even more. So that and that, right? One alternative we can do is, one more thing we can do is wrapping all these into hook called use community create. But I think this much is already good. So I'm gonna call it a day. Okay, so thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.